In a world that never seems to slow down, where the noise of everyday life often drowns out the quiet within, what if I told you that peace is closer than you think? Imagine stepping into a space where the chaos fades, and all that remains is the gentle rhythm of your breath and the stillness of your mind. Welcome to 30 Zen Sessions for Inner Harmony, a journey designed to guide you toward a life of balance, mindfulness, and profound peace. Over the next 30 sessions, we will explore timeless Zen practices that have brought clarity and calm to countless lives for centuries. From the art of mindful breathing to the wisdom of letting go, each session is a step toward rediscovering the harmony that already exists within you. Whether you're new to Zen or deepening your practice, these sessions will offer practical tools to transform your daily life into a sanctuary of presence and peace. So take a deep breath, let go of the weight of the world, and join us as we embark on this journey together. By the end, you'll not only understand the principles of Zen, but also know how to weave them into the fabric of your everyday life, creating moments of stillness and joy even in the busiest of days. Let's begin. Now, let's take our first step into the heart of Zen practice with something so simple, yet so profound: our breath. Breathing is something we do every moment of our lives, often without even noticing. But in Zen, the breath becomes a powerful anchor, a way to bring the mind back to the present moment where true peace resides. This is where we begin with mindful breathing, the foundation of all Zen practices. Mindful breathing is more than just inhaling and exhaling. It's about becoming fully aware of each breath, noticing the rise and fall of your chest, the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils, and the warmth as it leaves. This simple act of awareness has the power to quiet the mind, to slow down the endless stream of thoughts, and to bring you into the here and now. In Zen philosophy, the breath is seen as a bridge between the body and the mind. When we focus on our breathing, we create a space where the mind can rest, free from distractions and worries. It's like finding a calm center in the middle of a storm. And the beauty of this practice is that it's always available to you, no matter where you are or what you're doing. To start, find a comfortable position, whether sitting or lying down. Close your eyes if it feels right, and take a deep breath in through your nose, letting your belly expand. Hold it for just a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth. Repeat this a few times, allowing your body to relax with each breath. Now, let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. Simply observe it without trying to change it. Notice how it feels as the air moves in and out of your body. If your mind starts to wander, and it will gently guide your attention back to your breath. This practice isn't about achieving perfection or emptying your mind completely. It's about cultivating awareness moment by moment. Over time, you'll find that mindful breathing becomes a refuge, a way to ground yourself whenever life feels overwhelming. It's a reminder that peace is always within reach, as close as your next breath. As we move forward, remember that this simple act of breathing awareness is the cornerstone of all the practices we'll explore. It's the first step toward creating a life of mindfulness and harmony. And with each breath, you're already beginning to transform your relationship with the present moment. Next, we'll take this foundation of mindfulness and deepen it further as we explore the art of Zazen, or seated meditation. But for now, take a moment to simply breathe and let the stillness of this practice settle into your being. Now that we've anchored ourselves in the simplicity of mindful breathing, let's take the next step into the heart of Zen practice with the art of Zazen, or seated meditation. Zazen is more than just sitting still. It's a profound practice that has been at the core of Zen Buddhism for centuries, offering a pathway to stillness, clarity, and deep self-awareness. The history of Zazen dates back to the teachings of the Buddha himself, who is said to have achieved enlightenment while seated in meditation under the Bodhi tree. Over time, this practice evolved into a central pillar of Zen Buddhism, particularly in the traditions of Japan and China. Zazen is often described as just sitting, but don't let the simplicity of that phrase fool you. It's a practice that invites us to sit with ourselves fully present without judgment or distraction. To begin, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. You can sit on a cushion on the floor, in a chair, or even on a bench, whatever feels most comfortable for your body. The key is to maintain an upright posture, as if a string were gently pulling the crown of your head toward the ceiling. This alignment helps keep your mind alert and your body relaxed. Rest your hands in your lap with your palms facing upward and let your thumbs lightly touch, forming a gentle oval. This hand position, known as the cosmic mudra, symbolizes the unity of body and mind. Once you're settled, bring your attention to your breath, just as we did in the previous session. Notice the natural rhythm of your inhales and exhales, allowing your breath to flow effortlessly. If your mind begins to wander, and it will gently guide your focus back to your breath. In Zazen, the goal isn't to stop thinking altogether, but to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Imagine your mind as a vast sky and your thoughts as passing clouds. They come, they go, but the sky remains unchanged. As you sit, you may notice sensations in your body, perhaps a tingling in your legs or an itch on your nose. Instead of reacting immediately, simply observe these sensations with curiosity. Over time, this practice of non-reaction helps cultivate patience and equanimity, teaching us to meet life's challenges with a calm and steady mind. For beginners, it's helpful to start with shorter sessions, perhaps 5 to 10 minutes, and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Remember, Zazen isn't about achieving a particular state or feeling. It's about showing up just as you are and sitting with whatever arises. As we continue this journey, keep in mind that Zazen is a practice of returning to the breath, returning to the present moment, and returning to yourself. It's a gentle reminder that stillness and focus are always within reach, no matter how busy or chaotic life may seem. In our next session, we'll explore another way to bring mindfulness into motion with the practice of walking meditation. But for now, take a moment to sit, breathe, and simply be. Let the stillness of Zazen guide you deeper into the present moment where true harmony begins. Now that we've explored the stillness of Zazen, let's step into the gentle rhythm of walking meditation, a practice that brings mindfulness into motion. Walking meditation is a beautiful way to cultivate presence and awareness while engaging the body in a simple, natural movement. It's an accessible practice that can be done anywhere, whether you're in a park, your backyard, or even a quiet hallway. The essence of walking meditation lies in its simplicity. Unlike seated meditation, where the focus is on stillness, walking meditation invites us to connect with the sensation of movement. Each step becomes an opportunity to ground ourselves in the present moment, noticing the subtle shifts in our body and the world around us. This practice is particularly helpful for those who find it challenging to sit still for long periods, as it combines physical activity with mindfulness. To begin, find a quiet space where you can walk back and forth comfortably, about 10 to 15 paces in length. Stand still for a moment, bringing your attention to your breath and the sensations in your body. Feel the weight of your feet on the ground, the contact between your soles and the surface beneath you. When you're ready, start walking slowly with intention and awareness. As you take each step, focus on the sensations of lifting your foot, moving it forward, and placing it back down. Notice the shift of weight from one leg to the other, the gentle sway of your arms, and the rhythm of your breath. If your mind begins to wander, gently guide your attention back to the physical sensations of walking. You might even silently say to yourself, lifting, moving, placing, as a way to anchor your focus. One of the key benefits of walking meditation is its ability to ground us in the present moment. By paying close attention to the act of walking, we become more attuned to the here and now, letting go of distractions and mental clutter. This practice also helps cultivate a sense of balance and stability, both physically and mentally. Over time, you may find that walking meditation enhances your ability to stay present in other areas of your life, whether you're navigating a busy day or simply enjoying a stroll. Another wonderful aspect of walking meditation is its versatility. You can practice it for just a few minutes or extend it into a longer session, depending on your schedule and needs. It's also a great way to integrate mindfulness into your daily routine. For example, you can turn a short walk to the mailbox or a stroll through your neighborhood into a meditative experience. The key is to approach each step with curiosity and presence, allowing the act of walking to become a gateway to inner calm. As we continue this journey, remember that walking meditation isn't about reaching a destination, it's about being fully present with each step. It's a reminder that mindfulness isn't confined to stillness, it can be found in movement too. In our next session, we'll explore how to bring this same sense of presence and gratitude to another everyday activity, eating. But for now, take a moment to step outside, feel the ground beneath your feet, and let the rhythm of walking guide you back to the present moment. Now that we've explored the grounding practice of walking meditation, let's turn our attention to another everyday activity that holds the potential for deep mindfulness, eating. In Zen philosophy, eating is not just a necessity, it's an opportunity to cultivate presence, gratitude, and connection with the world around us. Mindful eating invites us to slow down, savor each bite, and transform meals into meditative experiences. The Zen approach to eating begins with gratitude. Before taking the first bite, take a moment to pause and reflect on the journey your food has taken to reach your plate. Consider the farmers who grew the ingredients, the hands that prepared the meal, and the natural elements, sun, soil, and rain, that made it all possible. This simple act of gratitude shifts your mindset from one of consumption to one of appreciation, creating a deeper connection to your food and the world. As you begin to eat, bring your full attention to the experience. Notice the colors, textures, and aromas of your meal. Take a moment to observe how the food looks on your plate, appreciating its beauty and the care that went into its preparation. When you take your first bite, chew slowly and deliberately, allowing yourself to fully taste and savor each flavor. Pay attention to the sensations in your mouth, the crunch of a vegetable, the creaminess of a sauce, or the sweetness of a fruit. Mindful eating also encourages us to listen to our bodies. Instead of eating on autopilot or rushing through a meal, tune in to your hunger and fullness cues. Ask yourself, am I eating because I'm truly hungry, or am I eating out of habit, boredom, or emotion? By eating with awareness, you can develop a healthier relationship with food, one that honors your body's needs and nourishes your soul. One of the most profound aspects of mindful eating is its ability to bring us into the present moment. When we eat mindfully, we let go of distractions, whether it's scrolling through our phones, watching TV, or worrying about the day ahead. Instead, we focus entirely on the act of eating, allowing it to become a form of meditation. Each bite becomes an opportunity to practice presence, grounding us in the here and now. This practice isn't just about what we eat, but how we eat. It's about creating a sense of ritual and reverence around meals, no matter how simple they may be. Even a quick snack can become a mindful moment if we approach it with intention and awareness. Over time, mindful eating can transform not only our relationship with food, but also our overall sense of well-being, helping us feel more connected, grateful, and at peace. As we move forward, remember that mindful eating is a practice, not a perfection. Some days you may eat with full presence, while other days distractions may pull you away. That's okay. What matters is the intention to return to mindfulness again and again. In our next session, we'll explore the power of silence and how moments of quiet reflection can deepen our connection to ourselves and the world around us. But for now, take a moment to sit down with your next meal, breathe deeply, and let each bite remind you of the beauty and abundance of the present moment. Now that we've explored the transformative practice of mindful eating, let's step into the profound world of silence. In Zen philosophy, silence is not merely the absence of sound. It's a powerful tool for deepening self-awareness, fostering inner peace, and reconnecting with the present moment. Silence allows us to step away from the noise of daily life and tune into the subtle rhythms of our inner world. The significance of silence in Zen practice lies in its ability to create space for reflection and clarity. When we quiet the external chatter, whether it's the hum of technology, the demands of work, or the endless stream of thoughts, we create an opportunity to listen to our true selves. Silence becomes a mirror reflecting our thoughts, emotions, and intentions without judgment. It's in these moments of stillness that we often find answers to questions we didn't even know we were asking. Incorporating silence into a busy life may seem challenging, but it doesn't require hours of solitude. Even a few minutes of intentional quiet can make a difference. Start by finding a small pocket of time in your day, perhaps during your morning routine, on your commute, or before bed. Sit quietly, close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and simply breathe. Let the silence envelop you, allowing your mind to settle and your body to relax. Another way to embrace silence is through mindful pauses. Throughout your day, take brief moments to stop and be still. Whether you're at your desk, in the kitchen, or outside, pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath, and let the world around you fade into the background. These micro moments of silence can act as reset buttons, helping you return to your tasks with renewed focus and calm. Silence also plays a key role in communication. In conversations, practice the art of listening in silence. Instead of planning your response while someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Allow pauses to linger, creating space for deeper understanding and connection. This kind of silent presence can transform the way you relate to others, fostering empathy and mutual respect. For those who find complete silence intimidating, you can start by incorporating soft, ambient sounds that support stillness, like the rustling of leaves or the gentle flow of water. Over time, you may find that these sounds fade into the background, leaving you with a sense of quiet that feels natural and comforting. The power of silence lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require special tools or techniques, just a willingness to pause and be present. By making space for silence in your life, you create room for clarity, creativity, and inner peace. It's a practice that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and appreciate the beauty of simply being. As we move forward, remember that silence is not about escaping the world, but about finding a deeper connection to it. In our next session, we'll explore the Zen teaching of letting go of attachments and how releasing what no longer serves us can lead to greater freedom and harmony. But for now, take a moment to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and let the stillness guide you back to the present moment. Now that we've immersed ourselves in the power of silence, let's turn our attention to another profound Zen teaching, the art of letting go. In Zen philosophy, non-attachment is not about giving up what you love or living without desires. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of clinging. Whether it's to material possessions, past experiences, or even certain emotions, attachment can weigh heavily on the mind and spirit, creating unnecessary suffering. Non-attachment invites us to live with openness and flexibility, embracing life as it unfolds without resistance. It's about recognizing that everything is impermanent, our thoughts, our relationships, even our sense of self. When we hold on too tightly, we create tension and struggle. But when we learn to let go, we find a sense of freedom and ease that allows us to flow with life's natural rhythms. So how can we begin to practice non-attachment in our daily lives? Start by observing where you feel stuck or burdened. Are you holding onto a grudge from the past? Are you clinging to a particular outcome or identity? Simply noticing these attachments is the first step toward releasing them. One practical way to cultivate non-attachment is through mindfulness. When you notice yourself becoming attached to a thought or emotion, pause and observe it without judgment. Acknowledge its presence, but remind yourself that it's temporary, like a cloud passing through the sky. This gentle awareness can help you loosen your grip and let go with greater ease. Another powerful practice is to declutter your physical space. Material possessions often carry emotional weight, and letting go of what no longer serves you can create a sense of lightness and clarity. Start small, perhaps with a drawer or a shelf, and ask yourself if each item truly adds value to your life. If not, consider donating or recycling it. This act of releasing can be deeply liberating, both physically and emotionally. Non-attachment also applies to relationships. While it's natural to care deeply for others, clinging to expectations or trying to control their actions can lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, focus on loving without conditions, allowing others to be who they are without needing them to meet your specific needs. This kind of unconditional love fosters deeper connections and inner peace. Finally, remember that letting go is a practice, not a one-time event. It's something we return to again and again, especially when life feels uncertain or challenging. Each time you release an attachment, whether it's to a thought, a possession, or an outcome, you create space for new possibilities and a deeper sense of harmony. As we continue our journey, we'll explore how creating a Zen garden can further support this practice of letting go, offering a tangible way to cultivate peace and mindfulness in your surroundings. But for now, take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you're ready to release? Breathe deeply, and with each exhale, imagine letting it go, making room for what truly matters. Now that we've explored the practice of letting go, let's step into a space where this principle comes to life in a tangible way: the Zen garden. Zen gardens, also known as kaisansui or dry landscapes, are more than just beautiful arrangements of rocks, sand, and plants. They are profound expressions of Zen philosophy designed to mirror the mind and cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. At their core, Zen gardens symbolize the impermanence and simplicity of life. The carefully raked sand or gravel represents the ever-changing flow of water, reminding us that nothing stays the same. The rocks, often placed in asymmetrical patterns, stand as islands of stability amidst the shifting sands, symbolizing the balance between stillness and movement. Together, these elements invite us to reflect on the transient nature of existence and the importance of finding peace in the present moment. Creating a Zen garden at home doesn't require a large space or elaborate materials. In fact, simplicity is key. Start by choosing a small area, a corner of your yard, a tabletop, or even a shallow tray. Fill it with fine gravel or sand, which will serve as the foundation. Then select a few rocks or stones of varying sizes and shapes. Arrange them thoughtfully, allowing each one to stand out while maintaining harmony with the whole. Once your garden is set up, the act of raking the sand becomes a meditative practice in itself. As you draw patterns in the sand, focus on your breath and let your mind settle. The repetitive motion of the rake can help quiet mental chatter, bringing you into a state of mindfulness. Over time, you'll find that tending to your Zen garden becomes a ritual of letting go, releasing stress, worries, and distractions as you create and recreate its patterns. To enhance the experience, consider adding a few simple elements like moss, small plants, or even a miniature wooden bridge. These additions can evoke a sense of nature and tranquility, deepening your connection to the garden's symbolism. Just remember, the goal isn't perfection but presence. A Zen garden is a living, evolving space that reflects your inner state, so allow it to change and grow as you do. As you spend time with your Zen garden, you'll begin to notice how it mirrors your own mind. The rocks may represent challenges or obstacles, while the flowing sand reminds you to remain flexible and open. Over time, this practice can help you cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace, grounding you in the present moment and fostering a greater appreciation for life's simplicity. In our next session, we'll explore another meditative ritual, the Zen tea ceremony. But for now, take a moment to reflect on how you might bring the principles of a Zen garden into your own space. What small changes can you make to create a sanctuary of calm and mindfulness in your daily life? Now, let's turn our attention to another deeply meditative practice in Zen philosophy, the tea ceremony. Known as chanoyu or sodo, the Zen tea ceremony is far more than just a way to prepare and enjoy tea. It is a ritual that embodies mindfulness, presence, and connection, transforming a simple act into a profound experience of harmony and awareness. At its heart, the tea ceremony is about slowing down and savoring each moment. Every step, from boiling the water to whisking the matcha, is performed with intention and care. This deliberate pace encourages us to step away from the rush of daily life and immerse ourselves fully in the present. The ceremony becomes a moving meditation, where even the smallest gestures, like the way you hold the tea bowl or pour the water, carry meaning and significance. To begin your own tea ceremony, start by creating a calm and inviting space. Clear away distractions and set up a simple tea set, including a bowl, whisk, and matcha powder. As you prepare the tea, focus on your breath and the sensations of the moment. Feel the warmth of the water, the texture of the bowl, and the aroma of the tea. Let these sensory details anchor you in the here and now. The act of serving and receiving tea is also a powerful expression of connection. In the traditional ceremony, the host and guest share a moment of mutual respect and gratitude. This exchange reminds us of the importance of relationships and the beauty of human connection. Even if you're practicing alone, you can cultivate this sense of gratitude by reflecting on the journey of the tea, from the hands that cultivated it to the moment it reaches your lips. One of the most striking aspects of the tea ceremony is its emphasis on imperfection. The tea bowls used are often irregular or flawed, embodying the Zen concept of wabi-sabi, the beauty of impermanence and imperfection. This teaches us to embrace life's imperfections and find beauty in the incomplete and transient. As you engage in the tea ceremony, you'll notice how it naturally quiets the mind and opens the heart. The ritual becomes a mirror, reflecting your inner state and inviting you to return to a place of calm and clarity. Over time, this practice can deepen your mindfulness, helping you carry a sense of presence and gratitude into every aspect of your life. In our next session, we'll explore the intriguing world of Zen koans, those paradoxical riddles that challenge the mind and spark deeper understanding. But for now, take a moment to consider how you might incorporate the principles of the tea ceremony into your daily routine. How can you turn ordinary moments into opportunities for mindfulness and connection? Now, let's step into the fascinating world of Zen koans, where the mind is invited to explore the boundaries of logic and perception. Koans are paradoxical riddles or questions used in Zen practice to challenge conventional thinking and push us beyond the limits of our rational mind. These enigmatic statements, such as "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" or "What was your original face before your parents were born?" are not meant to be solved in the traditional sense. Instead, they serve as tools to break down mental barriers and open the door to deeper insights about reality and the self. The purpose of a koan is to disrupt our habitual patterns of thought. When we encounter a koan, our logical mind struggles to make sense of it, often leading to frustration or confusion. But this is precisely the point. By sitting with the koan and allowing it to work on us, we begin to see beyond the surface level of words and concepts. The koan becomes a mirror, reflecting the limitations of our thinking and inviting us to experience reality directly, without the filter of our usual assumptions. To work with a koan, start by choosing one that resonates with you. Sit quietly and bring the koan to mind, repeating it gently like a mantra. Don't try to analyze or solve it intellectually. Instead, let it sink into your awareness, allowing it to stir your curiosity and challenge your understanding. Over time, the koan may begin to shift your perspective, revealing new layers of meaning and insight. One of the most famous koans is mu, which translates to nothing or not. When a student asks, "Does a dog have Buddha nature?" the teacher responds, "Mu." This simple yet profound exchange invites us to question our assumptions about existence and non-existence, self and other, and the nature of reality itself. The koan mu is not about finding an answer, but about entering a state of open inquiry where the boundaries between question and answer dissolve. Koans also teach us about the nature of the self. Many koans point to the idea that the self we think we know is not fixed or separate, but fluid and interconnected with all things. By grappling with a koan, we begin to see that our sense of identity is not as solid as we once believed. This realization can be liberating, freeing us from the constraints of ego and opening us to a more expansive understanding of who we are. As you engage with koans, you may notice moments of clarity or sudden shifts in perception. These glimpses, often called kensho in Zen, are not the end goal but stepping stones on the path to deeper awakening. Each koan is a doorway, inviting us to step through and explore the vast, uncharted territory of our own mind. In our next session, we'll explore the 5 remembrances, a set of teachings that invite us to reflect on the impermanent nature of life. But for now, take a moment to sit with a koan. Let it challenge you, confuse you, and ultimately transform you. How might this practice deepen your understanding of reality and yourself? Now, let's turn our attention to the 5 remembrances, a profound teaching in Zen that invites us to reflect on the impermanent nature of life. These 5 contemplations serve as gentle yet powerful reminders of the truths we often overlook in our daily lives. They encourage us to embrace the fleeting nature of existence with grace and mindfulness, helping us cultivate a deeper appreciation for the present moment. The first remembrance is this: I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. This simple statement reminds us that aging is an inevitable part of life. Rather than resisting or fearing it, we can choose to accept it with openness and curiosity. Each stage of life brings its own beauty and wisdom, and by embracing the process of aging, we can live more fully and authentically. The second remembrance is, I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape ill health. Illness and physical challenges are part of the human experience. While we may strive to care for our bodies, we cannot control every aspect of our health. This remembrance encourages us to approach illness with compassion and patience, both for ourselves and others, recognizing it as a natural part of life's journey. The third remembrance states, I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. Death is perhaps the most universal truth, yet it is often the most difficult to confront. By acknowledging our mortality, we can live with greater intention and purpose. This remembrance invites us to cherish each moment, knowing that our time is limited and precious. The fourth remembrance is, all that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature to change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. Relationships, possessions, and circumstances are all subject to change. This teaching reminds us to hold our attachments lightly, appreciating the people and things we love without clinging to them. By doing so, we can navigate life's inevitable changes with greater ease and resilience. The fifth and final remembrance is, my actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand. This powerful reflection emphasizes the importance of living with integrity and mindfulness. Our actions shape our lives and the world around us, and by taking responsibility for them, we can create a foundation of meaning and purpose. Together, the 5 remembrances offer a roadmap for living with awareness and acceptance. They remind us to let go of resistance and embrace life as it is, with all its joys and challenges. By reflecting on these truths regularly, we can cultivate a sense of peace and equanimity, even in the face of life's uncertainties. In our next session, we'll explore the middle way, a central concept in Zen that teaches us to find balance and harmony in all aspects of life. But for now, take a moment to sit with these remembrances. How might they shift your perspective and help you live more mindfully? Now, let's step into the heart of Zen philosophy as we explore the middle way, a guiding principle that invites us to find balance amidst life's extremes. The middle way is not about choosing one side over another, but about navigating the space between where harmony and clarity reside. This concept, rooted in Buddhist teachings, encourages us to avoid the pitfalls of excess and deprivation, guiding us toward a life of moderation and inner peace. At its core, the middle way teaches us to steer clear of extremes, whether it's indulgence or self-denial, attachment or aversion. For example, imagine a string on a musical instrument. If it's too tight, it snaps. If it's too loose, it fails to produce sound. Only when it's tuned just right does it create beautiful music. Similarly, the middle way invites us to find that perfect tension in our lives, where we can thrive without being pulled too far in any direction. One practical way to apply the middle way is in how we approach our desires. Chasing after every want can lead to stress and dissatisfaction, while completely rejecting our desires can create a sense of deprivation. Instead, the middle way encourages us to acknowledge our desires without being ruled by them. This balanced approach allows us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved to them. Another area where the middle way shines is in our relationships. Too much attachment can lead to dependency, while too much detachment can create distance. By finding the middle way, we can cultivate relationships that are rooted in love and respect without losing ourselves in the process. It's about being present and connected, yet maintaining our individuality and inner freedom. The middle way also applies to our emotions. When we experience joy, we don't cling to it, fearing its end. When we face sorrow, we don't push it away, denying its existence. Instead, we allow ourselves to feel fully, embracing each emotion as it arises and letting it pass naturally. This balanced approach helps us navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. In essence, the middle way is a call to live with awareness and intention. It's about recognizing that life is a dance of opposites, light and dark, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, and finding our footing in the space between. By embracing this path, we can move through life with greater ease, avoiding the suffering that comes from clinging to extremes. As we reflect on the middle way, consider how it might apply to your own life. Where do you notice yourself leaning too far in one direction? How might finding balance bring more harmony and peace into your daily experience? In our next session, we'll turn our attention to the Zen of work, exploring how to bring mindfulness and presence into our professional lives. But for now, take a moment to sit with the wisdom of the middle way. How might this principle help you navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and calm? Now let's shift our focus to the Zen of work, where we'll explore how to bring mindfulness into our professional lives. Work often feels like a source of stress, deadlines, and endless to-do lists. But what if we could transform it into a space for presence, growth, and even peace? The Zen of work invites us to approach our daily tasks not as burdens, but as opportunities to cultivate awareness and connection. At its heart, the Zen of work is about being fully present in whatever we do. Whether you're typing an email, attending a meeting, or organizing your workspace, each moment offers a chance to practice mindfulness. Instead of rushing through tasks on autopilot, try to slow down and engage with the process. Notice the sensations of your hands on the keyboard, the rhythm of your breath, or the sound of your colleagues' voices. These small acts of awareness can turn even the most mundane tasks into moments of calm and focus. One powerful way to practice the Zen of work is to start your day with intention. Before diving into your tasks, take a few moments to center yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and set a simple intention for the day. It could be something like, "Today, I will approach my work with patience and curiosity." This small ritual can help you enter your workday with clarity and purpose, rather than feeling overwhelmed by the chaos of deadlines and demands. Another key aspect of the Zen of work is learning to embrace imperfection. In our quest for productivity, we often put immense pressure on ourselves to be flawless. But Zen teaches us that perfection is an illusion. Instead of striving for an unattainable ideal, focus on doing your best in each moment. When mistakes happen, and they will see them as opportunities to learn and grow rather than reasons to criticize yourself. The Zen of work also encourages us to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to get caught up in the end goal, whether it's finishing a project, landing a promotion, or meeting a quota. But true fulfillment comes from appreciating the journey. Take time to notice the small victories along the way, the satisfaction of solving a problem, the creativity of brainstorming ideas, or the camaraderie of working with a team. These moments of joy can make work feel less like a chore and more like a meaningful part of life. Finally, the Zen of work reminds us to take breaks. In our fast-paced world, it's tempting to power through the day without stopping. But rest is essential for maintaining focus and energy. Try incorporating short mindfulness breaks into your routine. Step away from your desk, stretch, or take a few deep breaths. These pauses can help you recharge and return to your tasks with renewed clarity and enthusiasm. As we reflect on the Zen of work, consider how you might bring more mindfulness into your professional life. How can you approach your tasks with greater presence and intention? How might embracing imperfection and finding joy in the process transform your experience of work? In our next session, we'll explore the Zen of relationships, delving into how Zen principles can deepen our connections with others. But for now, take a moment to sit with the wisdom of the Zen of work. How might this approach help you find balance and fulfillment in your daily tasks? Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of relationships, where we'll explore how Zen principles can help us build deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Relationships are at the heart of our lives, whether they're with family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. Yet they can also be a source of tension, misunderstanding, and conflict. The Zen of relationships invites us to approach our interactions with compassion, active listening, and a genuine desire to understand. At its core, the Zen of relationships begins with presence. When we're fully present with someone, we give them the gift of our undivided attention. This means putting away distractions, whether it's your phone, your to-do list, or your own thoughts, and truly focusing on the person in front of you. Active listening is a key part of this practice. Instead of planning your response or waiting for your turn to speak, try to listen with an open heart and mind. Notice not just their words, but also their tone, body language, and emotions. This kind of deep listening can transform even the simplest conversation into a moment of connection. Compassion is another cornerstone of the Zen of relationships. Zen teaches us to see others not as separate from ourselves, but as part of the same interconnected whole. When we approach relationships with compassion, we're able to let go of judgment and criticism. Instead, we focus on understanding the other person's perspective, even when it differs from our own. This doesn't mean we have to agree with everything they say or do, but it does mean we strive to meet them with kindness and empathy. One practical way to cultivate compassion in relationships is through the practice of loving kindness meditation. This simple yet powerful technique involves silently repeating phrases like, "May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be at peace," while directing these wishes toward yourself and others. Over time, this practice can soften your heart and help you approach even difficult relationships with greater patience and understanding. The Zen of relationships also encourages us to embrace imperfection both in ourselves and in others. No relationship is perfect, and conflicts are a natural part of human connection. Instead of trying to avoid disagreements or expecting others to meet all our needs, we can learn to navigate challenges with grace and humility. When misunderstandings arise, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I respond in a way that fosters understanding rather than division? Another important aspect of the Zen of relationships is letting go of attachment to outcomes. Often, we enter relationships with expectations, whether it's wanting someone to behave a certain way or hoping for a specific outcome. But Zen reminds us that attachment to these expectations can lead to disappointment and frustration. Instead, try to approach relationships with an open mind and heart, allowing them to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean you stop caring or setting boundaries, but it does mean you release the need to control how things should be. Finally, the Zen of relationships invites us to find joy in the simple moments of connection. Whether it's sharing a meal, laughing together, or simply sitting in silence, these small acts of togetherness can deepen our bonds and remind us of what truly matters. Take time to appreciate the people in your life, not just for what they do, but for who they are. As we reflect on the Zen of relationships, consider how you might bring more mindfulness and compassion into your interactions. How can you listen more deeply, respond with greater kindness, and let go of expectations? These practices can transform not only your relationships, but also your own sense of peace and fulfillment. In our next session, we'll explore the Zen of nature, discovering how connecting with the natural world can bring us closer to inner harmony. But for now, take a moment to sit with the wisdom of the Zen of relationships. How might these principles help you cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections in your life? Now, let's step into the serene world of the Zen of nature, where we'll discover how immersing ourselves in the natural world can bring us closer to inner harmony. Nature has always been a profound teacher in Zen philosophy, offering lessons in presence, impermanence, and interconnectedness. When we take the time to connect with nature, we align ourselves with its rhythms, finding a sense of peace and balance that often eludes us in our busy, modern lives. The Zen of nature begins with simply being present in the natural world. Whether you're walking through a forest, sitting by a river, or gazing at the sky, the act of being fully present allows you to tap into the stillness and beauty around you. Notice the details, the rustle of leaves, the sound of water, the way sunlight filters through the trees. These small, mindful observations can ground you in the present moment, helping you let go of stress and distractions. One of the key teachings of the Zen of nature is the idea of impermanence. In nature, everything is constantly changing, seasons shift, flowers bloom and fade, rivers flow and dry up. By observing these natural cycles, we're reminded that change is an inherent part of life. This awareness can help us release our attachment to fixed outcomes and embrace the ebb and flow of our own experiences. When we align ourselves with this natural rhythm, we find greater acceptance and peace even in the face of life's uncertainties. Another important aspect of the Zen of nature is the concept of interconnectedness. In Zen, we're taught that everything in the universe is interconnected: every tree, every rock, every living being. When we spend time in nature, we can feel this connection more deeply. We begin to see ourselves not as separate from the world around us, but as an integral part of it. This sense of unity can foster a profound sense of belonging and reduce feelings of isolation or loneliness. A simple yet powerful way to practice the Zen of nature is through forest bathing, a practice rooted in Japanese tradition. Forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku, involves immersing yourself in a forest environment and engaging all your senses. As you walk slowly and mindfully, take in the sights, sounds, smells, and textures of the forest. Let the natural world envelop you, allowing its calming energy to soothe your mind and body. Studies have shown that forest bathing can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and boost overall well-being, making it a wonderful way to reconnect with nature and yourself. Even if you don't have access to a forest, you can still practice the Zen of nature in smaller ways. Spend time in a local park, tend to a garden, or simply sit by a window and observe the sky. The key is to approach these moments with mindfulness and gratitude. take a few deep breaths, feel the earth beneath your feet, and appreciate the beauty of the natural world, no matter how small or familiar it may seem. The Zen of nature also invites us to reflect on our relationship with the environment. In Zen philosophy, caring for the earth is an extension of caring for ourselves. By adopting more sustainable habits and showing respect for the natural world, we not only contribute to the well-being of the planet, but also deepen our own sense of harmony and purpose. As we explore the Zen of nature, consider how you might bring more of its wisdom into your daily life. How can you create moments to connect with the natural world, even in the midst of a busy schedule? How can you align yourself with the rhythms of nature to find greater peace and balance? In our next session, we'll delve into the Zen of sleep, exploring how to create a mindful bedtime routine that promotes rest and rejuvenation. But for now, take a moment to step outside, breathe in the fresh air, and let the wisdom of nature guide you toward inner harmony. Now, let's transition into the calming realm of the Zen of sleep, where we'll explore how to create a mindful bedtime routine that nurtures rest and rejuvenation. Sleep is not just a physical necessity, it's a sacred opportunity to restore our minds, bodies, and spirits. In Zen philosophy, sleep is seen as a natural extension of mindfulness, a time to let go of the day's worries and align ourselves with the quiet rhythms of the night. The first step in cultivating the Zen of sleep is to establish a consistent bedtime routine. This doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. It's about creating small, intentional rituals that signal to your body and mind that it's time to unwind. Begin by setting a regular sleep schedule, aiming to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. This consistency helps regulate your internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. As part of your routine, consider incorporating calming activities that help you transition from the busyness of the day to a state of relaxation. For example, you might spend a few minutes practicing gentle stretches or yoga poses designed to release tension. Focus on your breath as you move, allowing each exhale to carry away the stress of the day. Alternatively, you could try a short meditation session, focusing on a simple mantra or the sensation of your breath. These practices help quiet the mind and prepare you for a restful night. Another key element of the Zen of sleep is creating a peaceful sleep environment. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary free from distractions and clutter. Keep the space clean and organized, and consider using soft, natural materials for your bedding to enhance comfort. Dim the lights as bedtime approaches, and if possible, avoid screens for at least an hour before sleep. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Instead, opt for calming activities like reading a book, journaling, or listening to soothing music. Aromatherapy can also play a role in your bedtime routine. Scents like lavender, chamomile, and sandalwood are known for their relaxing properties. You might light a candle, use an essential oil diffuser, or simply place a few drops of oil on your pillow. These subtle sensory cues can help signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. The Zen of sleep also emphasizes the importance of letting go of the day's thoughts and worries. Before bed, take a few moments to reflect on the day with gratitude. You might jot down 3 things you're thankful for or simply mentally acknowledge them. This practice shifts your focus from stress to appreciation, creating a positive mindset as you prepare for sleep. If you find your mind racing with thoughts, try a simple visualization exercise. Imagine each thought as a leaf floating down a stream, gently carried away by the current. This mental imagery can help you release tension and drift into a peaceful state. Finally, remember that the Zen of sleep is not about perfection, it's about presence. If you have a restless night, approach it with compassion rather than frustration. Acknowledge that sleep, like all things, is impermanent, and trust that your body will find its natural rhythm again. As we conclude this session, consider how you might bring the principles of the Zen of sleep into your own life. What small changes can you make to create a more mindful bedtime routine? How can you transform your sleep into a practice of presence and renewal? In our next session, we'll explore the Zen of gratitude, discovering how cultivating appreciation for life's simple joys can deepen our sense of inner harmony. But for now, take a moment to honor the gift of rest and let the wisdom of the Zen of sleep guide you toward a night of peaceful slumber. Now, let's gently shift our focus to the Zen of gratitude, a practice that invites us to open our hearts to the simple yet profound joys of life. Gratitude in Zen philosophy is more than just saying thank you. It's a deep recognition of the interconnectedness of all things and an acknowledgement of the abundance that already exists within and around us. By cultivating gratitude, we train our minds to see the beauty in the ordinary, transforming our perspective and enriching our inner harmony. The first step in embracing the Zen of gratitude is to pause and notice. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to overlook the small blessings that surround us: the warmth of sunlight on our skin, the taste of a nourishing meal, or the sound of birdsong in the morning. Take a moment each day to truly observe these gifts. You might start by setting aside a few minutes in the morning or evening to reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple act of noticing can shift your focus from what's lacking to what's already present, fostering a sense of contentment and peace. One powerful exercise to deepen your practice is the gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand or extraordinary often. It's the simplest things that hold the most meaning. Perhaps it's the smile of a loved one, the comfort of a cozy blanket, or the quiet stillness of a morning walk. By putting your gratitude into words, you create a tangible record of the good in your life, which you can revisit during challenging times. Another way to cultivate gratitude is through mindful reflection. Before meals, take a moment to express silent thanks for the food before you. Consider the journey it took to reach your plate, the farmers who grew it, the hands that prepared it, and the earth that provided it. This practice not only deepens your appreciation but also connects you to the larger web of life, reminding you of your place within it. The Zen of gratitude also encourages us to extend our appreciation beyond ourselves. Consider expressing gratitude to others, whether through a kind word, a handwritten note, or a simple gesture of acknowledgement. When we share our gratitude, we not only uplift others but also strengthen our own sense of connection and belonging. In moments of difficulty, gratitude can be a powerful anchor. When faced with challenges, try to find one thing, no matter how small, that you can be grateful for. It might be the support of a friend, the lessons learned from the experience, or even the strength you've discovered within yourself. This shift in perspective doesn't deny the difficulty, but allows you to approach it with a sense of balance and resilience. As we close this session, take a moment to reflect on the practice of gratitude in your own life. What simple joys have you overlooked recently? How can you bring more awareness and appreciation into your daily routine? In our next session, we'll explore the Zen of simplicity, discovering how letting go of excess can create space for clarity and peace. But for now, let the practice of gratitude remind you of the abundance that already exists and allow it to fill your heart with warmth and joy. Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of simplicity, a practice that invites us to strip away the unnecessary and find clarity in the essential. In Zen philosophy, simplicity is not about deprivation, it's about creating space for what truly matters. By letting go of excess, both in our physical surroundings and our mental landscape, we can uncover a deeper sense of peace and purpose. The first step toward embracing simplicity is to examine your environment. Take a moment to look around your living space. Are there items that no longer serve a purpose or bring you joy? Clutter, whether physical or mental, can weigh us down and distract us from the present moment. Begin by identifying one area to declutter, a drawer, a shelf, or even a corner of a room. As you remove what no longer belongs, notice how the act of letting go creates a sense of lightness and openness. Simplicity also extends to our daily routines. Consider how you spend your time. Are there activities or commitments that drain your energy without adding value? Simplifying your schedule can free up time for what truly nourishes your soul, whether it's meditation, spending time in nature, or simply being present with loved ones. Start by saying no to one thing that doesn't align with your priorities, and observe how this small shift can create more room for joy and mindfulness. Another powerful way to practice the Zen of simplicity is through mindful consumption. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will it add value to my life? By cultivating awareness around what we bring into our lives, we can reduce the accumulation of unnecessary possessions and focus on quality over quantity. This practice not only benefits our personal space but also fosters a deeper connection to the world around us, encouraging sustainability and mindful living. The Zen of simplicity also invites us to declutter our minds. Just as we clear physical spaces, we can clear mental ones by letting go of unhelpful thoughts, worries, and distractions. One effective technique is to set aside a few minutes each day for mental decluttering. Sit quietly and observe your thoughts without judgment. If a thought arises that feels heavy or unnecessary, imagine gently releasing it like a leaf floating down a stream. This practice can help you cultivate mental clarity and focus. As you embrace simplicity, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. There's no need to rush or strive for perfection. Start small and let the process unfold naturally. Each step you take towards simplifying your life brings you closer to a state of inner harmony and balance. In our next session, we'll explore the Zen of compassion, discovering how kindness and empathy can transform our relationships and our world. But for now, take a moment to reflect on the beauty of simplicity. What can you let go of today to create more space for peace and presence in your life? Now, let's gently shift our focus to the Zen of compassion, a practice that invites us to open our hearts and cultivate kindness, not only toward others but also toward ourselves. In Zen philosophy, compassion is seen as a natural expression of our interconnectedness, a recognition that we are all part of the same whole. By nurturing compassion, we not only ease the suffering of others but also find deeper peace within ourselves. To begin developing compassion, start with self-compassion. Often, we are our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards. Take a moment to reflect on how you speak to yourself. Are your inner words kind and supportive, or do they carry judgment and criticism? Begin by treating yourself with the same gentleness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. When you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, acknowledge it with kindness and remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human. This simple shift can create a foundation of self-love that radiates outward. Next, extend this compassion to others. One powerful Zen practice is called metta, or loving kindness meditation. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Begin by silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be at peace." Once you feel a sense of warmth toward yourself, extend these wishes to others, starting with someone you love, then to a neutral person, and finally to someone you may find challenging. This practice helps dissolve barriers and fosters a sense of connection with all beings. Compassion also involves active listening. In our fast-paced world, we often listen to respond rather than to understand. The next time you're in a conversation, try to truly hear the other person. Put aside distractions, maintain eye contact, and focus on their words without judgment. By being fully present, you create a space where others feel seen and valued, which is a profound act of compassion. Another way to cultivate compassion is through small, intentional acts of kindness. These don't have to be grand gestures. Holding the door for someone, offering a genuine compliment, or simply smiling at a stranger can make a difference. Each act of kindness ripples outward, creating a more compassionate world. Finally, remember that compassion is not about fixing or solving others' problems. It's about being present with them in their experience, offering your presence and understanding without judgment. This is the essence of Zen compassion, meeting life and others exactly as they are. As we move forward, let's carry this spirit of compassion into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of patience, learning how to cultivate calmness and resilience in the face of life's challenges. But for now, take a moment to reflect. How can you bring more compassion into your daily life, both for yourself and for those around you? Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of patience, a virtue that invites us to embrace life's challenges with calmness and resilience. In Zen philosophy, patience is not about passively waiting for things to happen, but about cultivating a deep sense of presence and acceptance, even in the face of difficulty. It's about finding stillness within the storm, allowing us to respond to life's ups and downs with grace and clarity. To begin cultivating patience, start by observing your reactions to delays or obstacles. Notice how your body and mind respond when things don't go as planned. Do you feel tension, frustration, or the urge to rush? Instead of resisting these feelings, acknowledge them without judgment. Remind yourself that impatience often arises from a desire to control the uncontrollable. By letting go of this need, you create space for calmness to emerge. One powerful Zen practice for developing patience is mindful breathing. When you feel impatience creeping in, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This simple act can ground you in the present moment, helping you regain perspective and composure. Over time, this practice can transform how you approach challenges, allowing you to meet them with a steady mind. Another technique is to reframe waiting as an opportunity rather than a burden. For example, if you're stuck in traffic or standing in a long line, use that time to observe your surroundings or reflect on something you're grateful for. This shift in perspective can turn moments of frustration into opportunities for mindfulness and gratitude. Patience also involves accepting the natural flow of life. In Zen, there's a saying, "The way out is through." This means that instead of resisting or rushing through difficulties, we can choose to move through them with awareness and acceptance. Trust that each moment, whether pleasant or challenging, is part of a larger journey. By embracing this mindset, you can navigate life's uncertainties with greater ease and resilience. Finally, remember that patience is a practice, not a destination. It's something we cultivate over time through small, consistent efforts. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and be gentle with yourself when you stumble. Each moment of patience is a step toward inner harmony. As we prepare to move forward, let's carry this spirit of patience into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of imperfection, learning how to embrace life's flaws and find beauty in the imperfect. But for now, take a moment to reflect. How can you bring more patience into your daily life, especially in moments of challenge or uncertainty? Now, let's step into the Zen of imperfection, where we uncover the profound beauty of life's flaws and the peace that comes from embracing them. In Zen philosophy, there's a concept called wabi-sabi, which celebrates the imperfect, the incomplete, and the transient. It's about finding beauty in the cracks, the asymmetry, and the natural wear of time. This idea invites us to see imperfection not as something to fix or hide, but as a source of depth, character, and authenticity. To begin, consider how often we strive for perfection in our lives, whether it's in our work, relationships, or even our appearance. This pursuit can create stress, self-doubt, and a constant sense of inadequacy. Wabi-sabi teaches us to let go of these unrealistic standards and instead appreciate the unique qualities that make us who we are. It's about shifting our focus from what's lacking to what's already whole and beautiful in its own way. One way to practice this is by observing nature. Look at a tree with gnarled branches or a stone weathered by time. These imperfections tell a story of resilience and growth. They remind us that life isn't meant to be flawless, but to be lived fully with all its twists and turns. By connecting with this natural wisdom, we can begin to see our own imperfections as marks of our journey, rather than flaws to be ashamed of. Another powerful exercise is to reflect on the things you often criticize about yourself. Maybe it's a physical feature, a mistake you made, or a trait you wish you could change. Instead of judging these aspects, try to approach them with curiosity and compassion. Ask yourself, what has this imperfection taught me? How has it shaped my experiences or relationships? By reframing these so-called flaws, you can uncover their hidden value and learn to embrace them as part of your unique story. Wabi-sabi also encourages us to find beauty in the everyday. It's about noticing the charm in a chipped teacup, the warmth of a handmade gift, or the quiet joy of an unplanned moment. These small, imperfect details remind us that life's most meaningful experiences often come from the unexpected and the unpolished. As we move through this practice, remember that embracing imperfection doesn't mean settling for less. It's about finding freedom in acceptance and peace in the present moment. When we stop chasing perfection, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of contentment and connection with the world around us. With this mindset, let's carry the spirit of Wabi-sabi into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of creativity and discover how quieting the mind can unlock our natural ability to create and innovate. But for now, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life can you begin to see the beauty of imperfection? How might embracing your flaws bring you closer to inner harmony? Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of creativity, where we'll explore how stillness and mindfulness can become the foundation for boundless inspiration. Creativity often feels elusive, like a spark that flickers in and out of reach. But in Zen philosophy, creativity isn't something we force. It's something we allow to emerge naturally when the mind is quiet and open. Think of your mind as a calm lake. When the surface is still, you can see clearly to the depths below. But when it's churned by distractions, worries, or the pressure to perform, the water becomes murky and clarity is lost. Zen practices help us return to that stillness, creating the space for ideas to surface effortlessly. One of the most effective ways to tap into this creative flow is through meditation. By sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, you create a mental environment free from clutter. This isn't about emptying your mind completely, but about letting thoughts come and go without judgment. In this state of relaxed awareness, unexpected connections and ideas often arise. It's as if the mind, freed from its usual constraints, begins to wander into uncharted territory where creativity thrives. Another powerful tool is the practice of mindfulness in everyday activities. Whether you're washing dishes, walking in nature, or even folding laundry, bringing your full attention to the present moment can spark creative insights. These simple, repetitive tasks allow the mind to relax and wander, often leading to moments of inspiration. It's in these ordinary moments that extraordinary ideas can take root. Zen also teaches us to let go of the need for perfection in our creative endeavors. Just as we embraced imperfection in the previous session, here we learn to release the pressure to create something flawless. Instead, we focus on the process itself, the joy of experimenting, playing, and expressing ourselves without fear of judgment. This shift in mindset can be incredibly liberating, opening the door to new possibilities and unexpected breakthroughs. Consider the story of a potter shaping clay. If they approach their work with rigid expectations, they may become frustrated when the clay doesn't conform to their vision. But if they approach it with curiosity and openness, they might discover a shape or form they never imagined. This is the essence of Zen creativity, letting go of control and allowing the process to guide you. As we move forward, remember that creativity isn't reserved for artists or writers. It's a natural part of being human, a way of seeing the world with fresh eyes and finding new solutions to old problems. By incorporating Zen practices into your daily life, you can unlock this innate ability and approach challenges with a sense of playfulness and curiosity. With this in mind, let's carry this spirit of creative openness into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of movement and discover how mindful practices like Tai Chi and yoga can bring harmony to both body and mind. But for now, take a moment to reflect. How might quieting your mind open the door to new ideas? What creative possibilities could emerge if you let go of the need for perfection? Now, let's step into the Zen of movement, where we'll discover how mindful practices like Tai Chi and yoga can bring harmony to both body and mind. Movement, in its essence, is a natural expression of life, a dance between stillness and action. In Zen philosophy, movement isn't just about physical exercise. It's about cultivating awareness and aligning with the flow of energy within and around us. Think of a river. It doesn't force its way through the landscape. It moves effortlessly, adapting to the terrain while maintaining its direction. Similarly, mindful movement practices teach us to move with intention and grace, allowing our bodies to flow naturally without tension or resistance. This is where Tai Chi and yoga come into play, not as mere workouts, but as meditative practices that connect us to the present moment. Tai Chi, often described as meditation in motion, is a perfect example of Zen in action. Its slow, deliberate movements encourage us to focus on our breath and the sensations in our body. Each motion flows seamlessly into the next, creating a rhythm that mirrors the natural cycles of life. As you practice Tai Chi, you'll notice how it quiets the mind, grounding you in the here and now. It's a reminder that even in movement there is stillness, a balance that lies at the heart of Zen. Yoga, too, offers a profound way to integrate Zen principles into movement. Through a series of postures and breathwork, yoga invites us to explore the connection between body, mind, and spirit. Each pose becomes an opportunity to observe and release tension, to breathe deeply, and to find ease within effort. Whether you're holding a warrior pose or flowing through a sun salutation, the practice encourages mindfulness and self-awareness, helping you stay present and centered. What makes these practices uniquely Zen is their emphasis on harmony. In Tai Chi and yoga, there's no competition, no rush to achieve a perfect form. Instead, the focus is on the journey, on how it feels to move, breathe, and exist in the moment. This aligns perfectly with the Zen teaching of non-attachment, where we let go of expectations and simply experience the process. Even if you're new to these practices, the beauty lies in their accessibility. You don't need to be an expert to benefit from mindful movement. Start with simple stretches or gentle Tai Chi exercises, paying attention to how your body responds. Notice the rhythm of your breath, the sensation of your feet on the ground, and the subtle shifts in your energy. Over time, you'll find that these practices not only enhance physical well-being, but also deepen your connection to the present moment. As we wrap up this session, consider how movement can become a form of meditation in your daily life. Whether it's through Tai Chi, yoga, or even a mindful walk, each step can be an opportunity to cultivate harmony and flow. With this in mind, let's carry this sense of mindful movement into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of listening and discover how deep, attentive listening can transform our relationships and inner world. But for now, take a moment to reflect. How might moving with awareness bring more balance and peace into your life? What could you discover by aligning your body and mind through mindful movement? Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of listening, where we'll explore how deep, attentive listening can transform not only our conversations but also our inner world. Listening, in its truest form, is more than just hearing words. It's about being fully present, open, and receptive to the person speaking. In Zen philosophy, listening is an act of mindfulness, a way to connect deeply with others and with ourselves. Imagine a conversation where you're not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly absorbing what the other person is saying. This is the essence of deep listening. It's about setting aside your own thoughts, judgments, and distractions and giving your full attention to the speaker. When we listen in this way, we create a space of understanding and compassion, allowing the other person to feel seen and heard. One of the key techniques in the Zen of listening is to focus on the speaker's words without immediately forming a response. Often, in conversations, our minds are busy crafting what we'll say next, which can prevent us from truly understanding the other person. Instead, try to listen with curiosity and openness as if you're hearing their words for the first time. This practice not only improves communication but also deepens your connection with the speaker. Another important aspect of deep listening is paying attention to non-verbal cues. In Zen, we're taught to be aware of the present moment in all its richness, and this includes the subtle signals that accompany speech, tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. These cues often convey more than words alone, offering insights into the speaker's emotions and intentions. By tuning into these details, you can respond with greater empathy and clarity. Silence, too, plays a vital role in the Zen of listening. In conversations, pauses and moments of quiet can be just as meaningful as words. They give both the speaker and the listener time to reflect and process. Instead of rushing to fill the silence, embrace it as an opportunity to deepen your understanding and presence. This practice aligns with the Zen teaching of being comfortable with stillness, even in the midst of interaction. To cultivate the art of deep listening in your daily life, start by practicing mindfulness during conversations. Before engaging, take a moment to ground yourself with a few deep breaths. As you listen, keep your attention on the speaker, gently bringing your focus back if your mind starts to wander. Over time, you'll find that this practice not only enhances your communication, but also brings a sense of calm and clarity to your interactions. As we move forward, consider how the Zen of listening can enrich your relationships and inner harmony. By listening deeply, we not only honor the speaker, but also create a space for mutual understanding and connection. With this in mind, let's carry this practice into our next session, where we'll revisit the concept of letting go and explore how releasing negative thoughts and emotions can lead to greater mental clarity. But for now, take a moment to reflect. How might deep listening transform your conversations? What could you discover by being fully present in your interactions? Now, let's gently shift our focus to the Zen of letting go, a practice that invites us to release the weight of negative thoughts and emotions, creating space for mental clarity and peace. In Zen philosophy, letting go isn't about ignoring or suppressing what we feel. It's about acknowledging our emotions without allowing them to define or control us. This session will guide you through the art of releasing what no longer serves you, so you can move forward with lightness and clarity. Think of your mind as a flowing river. Sometimes debris like negative thoughts, worries, or regrets can accumulate, disrupting the natural flow. The Zen of letting go teaches us to observe these obstacles without clinging to them, allowing them to pass by like leaves on the water. This practice isn't about forcing change, but about cultivating a mindset of acceptance and non-attachment. One powerful way to begin letting go is through mindfulness. When a negative thought or emotion arises, pause and notice it without judgment. Instead of resisting or engaging with it, simply observe it as if it were a passing cloud in the sky. By doing this, you create distance between yourself and the emotion, reducing its power over you. Over time, this practice helps you recognize that thoughts and feelings are temporary. They come and go, but they don't have to define your experience. Another technique is to practice gratitude alongside letting go. When we focus on what we're grateful for, it becomes easier to release what no longer serves us. For example, if you're holding on to resentment, try shifting your attention to the lessons the experience has taught you or the growth it has inspired. Gratitude doesn't erase the past, but it can help you reframe it, making it easier to let go and move forward. Physical practices can also support the process of letting go. Gentle movements like stretching or yoga can help release tension stored in the body, which often mirrors emotional holding. As you move, visualize yourself letting go of stress, worry, or negativity with each breath. This combination of physical and mental release can be deeply transformative, helping you feel lighter and more at ease. Finally, remember that letting go is a gradual process. It's not something you achieve overnight, but rather a practice you return to again and again. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. Each time you release a negative thought or emotion, you're taking a step toward greater mental clarity and inner harmony. As we prepare to transition to our next session, consider how the Zen of letting go can bring more peace and freedom into your life. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for new possibilities and a deeper connection to the present moment. With this in mind, let's carry this practice forward as we explore the Zen of time, where we'll learn how to approach each moment with mindfulness and presence. But for now, take a moment to reflect. What might you need to let go of today? How could releasing it bring you closer to inner peace? Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of time, a practice that invites us to step out of the relentless rush of modern life and into the calm embrace of the present moment. In a world where every second seems to be accounted for, the Zen of time teaches us to slow down, not by doing less, but by being fully present in what we do. This session will guide you toward a more mindful relationship with time, helping you find peace and clarity even in the busiest of days. Imagine time not as a ticking clock, but as a vast, open space. Often, we treat time as something to be conquered or managed, rushing from one task to the next, always chasing the next moment. But in Zen philosophy, time is not an enemy, it's a companion. The Zen of time encourages us to shift our perspective, to see each moment as an opportunity to be fully alive, rather than something to be hurried through. One way to cultivate this mindset is through the practice of single tasking. Instead of juggling multiple tasks at once, choose one activity and give it your full attention. Whether it's sipping a cup of tea, writing an email, or walking to your car, immerse yourself completely in the experience. Notice the sensations, the sounds, and the thoughts that arise. By focusing on one thing at a time, you not only become more efficient but also more present, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for mindfulness. Another key aspect of the Zen of time is learning to embrace pauses. In our fast-paced lives, we often overlook the value of stillness. Yet, it's in these quiet moments that we can reconnect with ourselves and the world around us. Try incorporating small pauses into your day. Take a deep breath before answering a phone call. Sit quietly for a moment after finishing a meal, or simply gaze out the window and observe the world passing by. These pauses act as anchors, grounding you in the present and helping you approach time with a sense of calm rather than urgency. It's also important to reflect on how we measure time. We often divide our days into hours, minutes, and seconds, but these measurements can create a sense of pressure and scarcity. Instead, consider time as a flow, a continuous stream of moments that you can move through with intention and grace. When you let go of the need to control every second, you open yourself to the beauty of the present, where time feels expansive rather than constricting. Finally, remember that the Zen of time is not about eliminating busyness, but about changing your relationship with it. Even in the midst of a hectic schedule, you can find moments of stillness and presence. It's not about having more time, it's about making the time you have more meaningful. As we prepare to transition to our next session, take a moment to reflect. How can you approach time with more mindfulness today? What small changes can you make to slow down and savor the present? With these questions in mind, let's carry this practice forward as we explore the Zen of acceptance, where we'll learn to embrace life as it is without resistance. But for now, take a deep breath and allow yourself to be fully present in this moment. Now, let's gently shift our focus to the Zen of acceptance, a practice that invites us to embrace life exactly as it is, without the need to change, control, or resist it. In a world where we often strive to fix, improve, or escape our circumstances, the Zen of acceptance offers a profound alternative. to meet life with openness and grace, finding peace not in what we wish for, but in what is already here. At its core, acceptance is about letting go of the struggle against reality. It's not about giving up or resigning ourselves to hardship, but about recognizing that resistance only amplifies our suffering. Think of it like trying to swim against a strong current. It's exhausting and often futile. But when we stop fighting and allow the current to carry us, we find a natural flow, a sense of ease even in the midst of challenges. One way to practice acceptance is by observing your reactions to life's ups and downs. Notice how often you resist what's happening, whether it's a minor inconvenience like traffic or a larger challenge like a difficult relationship. Instead of reacting with frustration or judgment, try pausing and simply acknowledging the situation as it is. Say to yourself, "This is what's happening right now," without adding layers of resistance or blame. This simple act of acknowledgement can create a space between you and your emotions, allowing you to respond with greater clarity and calm. Another powerful tool in the practice of acceptance is gratitude. When we focus on what we're grateful for, even in difficult moments, we shift our perspective from what's lacking to what's present. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed at work, take a moment to appreciate the opportunity to contribute, the skills you're developing, or the colleagues who support you. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it helps us see them within a larger context, softening our resistance and opening our hearts to the fullness of life. It's also important to remember that acceptance doesn't mean passivity. You can still take action to improve your circumstances, but from a place of clarity rather than desperation. When you accept what is, you're better able to see the most skillful and compassionate way forward. It's like standing firmly on the ground before taking a step. You're rooted in reality, not lost in wishful thinking or fear. Finally, acceptance is a practice of self-compassion. Often, the hardest thing to accept is ourselves, our flaws, our mistakes, our imperfections. But in Zen, there's a beautiful teaching. The way you are is the way you are meant to be. This doesn't mean we stop growing or improving, but that we start from a place of love and understanding rather than judgment and criticism. When we accept ourselves, we create a foundation of inner harmony that radiates outward, transforming our relationships and our experience of life. As we prepare to move into our next session, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life are you resisting reality? What might shift if you approach that situation with acceptance instead? With these questions in mind, let's carry this practice forward as we explore the Zen of laughter, where we'll discover how joy and humor can lighten our spirits and deepen our connection to life. But for now, take a deep breath and allow yourself to simply be just as you are. Now, let's turn our attention to the Zen of laughter, a practice that reminds us of the profound power of joy and humor in our lives. In the midst of life's challenges, laughter can be a gentle yet transformative force, lifting our spirits and bringing us back to the present moment with lightness and ease. Laughter in Zen is not just a reaction to something funny, it's a way of seeing the world with openness and playfulness. It's about finding humor in the ordinary, in the unexpected, and even in the imperfections of life. Think of it as a kind of inner smile, a way to soften the edges of our struggles and connect more deeply with ourselves and others. One of the simplest ways to bring laughter into your practice is to cultivate a sense of curiosity and wonder. When you approach life with a playful attitude, you're more likely to notice the small, delightful moments that might otherwise pass you by. Maybe it's the way your dog tilts its head when it's confused, or the way a child's laughter echoes in a quiet room. These moments, when embraced, can become little sparks of joy that light up your day. Another way to practice the Zen of laughter is to not take yourself too seriously. Often we get caught up in our own stories, our worries, and our self-imposed pressures. But when we step back and see the bigger picture, we realize how much of life is truly beyond our control, and that's okay. Laughing at our own mistakes, our quirks, and even our frustrations can be incredibly freeing. It's a way of saying, I'm human and that's perfectly fine. Laughter also has a unique ability to connect us with others. Shared laughter creates bonds, breaks down barriers, and reminds us of our shared humanity. Whether it's a light-hearted joke with a friend or a moment of spontaneous laughter with a stranger, these connections remind us that we're not alone in this journey. In Zen, there's a saying, laughter is the sound of the universe waking up. It's a reminder that joy is not something we need to chase or create, it's already here, woven into the fabric of life. When we allow ourselves to laugh, we tap into this natural wellspring of happiness, letting it flow through us and into the world around us. As we move forward, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life could you invite more laughter? How might a lighter, more playful approach transform your experience of the present moment? With these questions in mind, let's carry this spirit of joy into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of rituals, discovering how daily practices can infuse our lives with mindfulness and meaning. But for now, take a deep breath, smile, and let the sound of laughter remind you of the beauty and lightness that's always within reach. Now, let's step into the quiet, intentional space of the Zen of rituals, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary through mindful practice. Rituals in Zen are not just routines, they are acts of presence, moments where we pause to honor the sacred in the everyday. Whether it's lighting incense, bowing, or even preparing a cup of tea, these small, deliberate actions can anchor us in the present moment, infusing our lives with a deeper sense of meaning and connection. At the heart of Zen rituals is the idea of mindfulness, a full, attentive engagement with what we're doing. When we light incense, for example, we're not just performing a task. We're noticing the scent as it fills the air, the flicker of the flame, and the way the smoke rises and dissipates. This simple act becomes a meditation, a reminder of impermanence and the beauty of the present moment. Bowing, another common Zen ritual, is a physical expression of humility and gratitude. It's a way of acknowledging the interconnectedness of all things, of recognizing that we are part of something greater than ourselves. When we bow, we let go of ego and open ourselves to the flow of life. It's a gesture of respect not just to others, but to the moment itself. The beauty of rituals lies in their simplicity. They don't require elaborate tools or grand gestures. Even something as ordinary as washing dishes can become a ritual if we approach it with mindfulness. Feel the warmth of the water, the texture of the soap, the rhythm of your movements. In this way, the mundane becomes sacred, and every action becomes an opportunity to cultivate presence. Rituals also provide a sense of structure and stability in our often chaotic lives. They create pockets of calm, moments where we can return to ourselves and reconnect with what truly matters. Over time, these small acts of mindfulness can transform our relationship with the world around us, helping us to see the sacred in the simple, the extraordinary in the ordinary. As we move forward, consider how you might bring the spirit of ritual into your own life. What small, intentional practices could you incorporate into your day? How might these moments of mindfulness deepen your connection to yourself and the world around you? With these questions in mind, let's carry this sense of sacredness into our next session, where we'll explore the Zen of death, reflecting on how contemplating mortality can enrich our understanding of life. But for now, take a deep breath and let the quiet power of ritual remind you of the beauty that lies in every moment. As we turn our attention to the Zen of death, we enter a space that may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable at first. Yet in Zen philosophy, death is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a profound teacher, offering us insights into the nature of life itself. Contemplating mortality is not about dwelling on the end, but about awakening to the fullness of the present moment. Zen teaches us that life and death are not separate. They are two sides of the same coin, intertwined and inseparable. By reflecting on the impermanence of all things, we begin to see the preciousness of each breath, each experience, and each connection. This awareness can transform how we live, helping us to let go of trivial worries and focus on what truly matters. One of the most powerful practices in Zen is the meditation on death, or memento mori. This is not a morbid exercise, but a way of grounding ourselves in the reality of impermanence. When we sit with the truth that our time here is limited, we are reminded to live with intention and gratitude. It's a call to stop postponing joy, to mend broken relationships, and to embrace the beauty of the here and now. In Zen, death is also seen as a mirror, reflecting the transient nature of all existence. Just as the seasons change and flowers bloom and fade, so too do our lives follow this natural rhythm. By accepting this truth, we can release our attachment to permanence and find peace in the flow of life. This acceptance doesn't diminish the pain of loss, but it can help us navigate grief with greater compassion and understanding. The Zen of death invites us to live with open hearts, fully present to the richness of each moment. It encourages us to ask ourselves, if today were my last day, how would I choose to live? What would I let go of? What would I hold close? These questions are not meant to provoke fear, but to inspire clarity and purpose. As we carry these reflections forward, let's remember that contemplating death is not about ending, it's about beginning. It's about living more deeply, loving more fully, and finding meaning in the fleeting beauty of life. With this in mind, let's move into our final session, where we'll bring together all we've learned and explore how to integrate Zen practices into the tapestry of everyday life. For now, take a moment to breathe deeply and let the wisdom of impermanence remind you of the gift of this very moment. As we step into the final session, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've shared. Over these 30 Zen sessions, we've explored practices that invite mindfulness, balance, and harmony into our lives. Now, in this culminating session, we'll weave all these threads together, showing how to bring Zen into the fabric of everyday life. The Zen of everyday life is about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. It's about seeing each moment, whether you're washing dishes, walking to work, or sharing a meal, as an opportunity to practice presence and peace. The beauty of Zen lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require grand gestures or special settings. It's about how you approach the small, seemingly mundane moments that make up your day. Start by anchoring yourself in the present, whether it's through mindful breathing, as we explored in Session 1, or through the stillness of Zazen from Session 2. These practices can serve as touchstones throughout your day. When you feel overwhelmed or distracted, return to your breath. Let it ground you in the here and now. Walking meditation from Session 3 can transform your daily commute or a simple stroll into a practice of mindfulness. Feel the ground beneath your feet, notice the rhythm of your steps, and let the act of walking become a meditation in motion. Mealtime, as we discussed in Session 4, offers another opportunity to practice Zen. Approach each bite with gratitude and presence. Savor the flavors, textures, and aromas, turning an everyday activity into a moment of connection and appreciation. Silence, as we explored in Session 5, can be woven into your day in small but powerful ways. Take a few moments to sit quietly, free from distractions, and let the stillness recharge your mind and spirit. The teachings of non-attachment from Session 6 remind us to let go of what no longer serves us, whether it's material possessions or emotional burdens. This practice can help you approach life with greater lightness and clarity. Creating a mini Zen garden, as we did in Session 7, or engaging in the tea ceremony from Session 8, can bring a sense of ritual and mindfulness into your home. These practices remind us to slow down and appreciate the beauty in simplicity. The wisdom of koans from Session 9 and the 5 remembrances from Session 10 invite us to question our assumptions and embrace the impermanence of life. These reflections can help us live with greater intention and appreciation for the present moment. As we move through our days, the middle way from Session 11 reminds us to avoid extremes and find balance. Whether it's in our work, relationships, or personal habits, This principle encourages us to seek harmony rather than perfection. The Zen of work from session 12 shows us how to approach our tasks with mindfulness and purpose. Even the most routine activities can become opportunities for growth and presence when we bring our full attention to them. In our relationships, as we explored in session 13, Zen teaches us to listen deeply, speak with compassion, and cultivate understanding. These practices can transform our connections with others, fostering deeper bonds and mutual respect. Connecting with nature, as we discussed in session 14, reminds us of our place in the larger web of life. Whether it's a walk in the park or tending to a houseplant, these moments of connection can ground us and bring us peace. The Zen of sleep from session 15 encourages us to create a mindful bedtime routine, ensuring restful nights and energized mornings. Gratitude, as we explored in session 16, helps us appreciate the small joys that often go unnoticed. Simplicity from session 17 invites us to declutter our lives both physically and mentally so we can focus on what truly matters. Compassion from session 18 reminds us to extend kindness to ourselves and others, fostering a sense of connection and empathy. Patience from session 19 helps us navigate life's challenges with calmness and resilience. Embracing imperfection, as we did in session 20, allows us to find beauty in flaws and release the pressure of unrealistic expectations. Creativity from session 21 flourishes when we quiet the mind and allow inspiration to flow naturally. Mindful movement, as we explored in session 22, aligns our bodies and minds, promoting harmony and flow. Deep listening from session 23 enhances our communication and presence in conversations. Letting go, as we revisited in session 24, frees us from negative thoughts and emotions, creating space for clarity and peace. The Zen of time from session 25 encourages us to approach each moment with mindfulness, avoiding the rush and finding joy in the present. Acceptance from session 26 teaches us to embrace life as it is without resistance, fostering inner harmony. Laughter and joy, as we explored in session 27, lighten our spirits and connect us with others. Rituals from session 28 bring a sense of sacredness to our daily routines, reminding us to approach life with reverence. And finally, the Zen of death from session 29 reminds us of the preciousness of life, inspiring us to live with intention and gratitude. Now, as we bring these 30 sessions together, the invitation is clear. Let Zen infuse every aspect of your life. Whether you're sipping tea, walking in nature, or simply sitting in stillness, each moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness and peace. As we close this journey, remember that Zen is not a destination, it's a way of living. It's about finding harmony in the ordinary, embracing the present, and cultivating a deep sense of connection to yourself and the world around you. Thank you for joining me on this path toward inner harmony. If these sessions have resonated with you, I invite you to continue exploring Zen in your own life. Share your experiences in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights and practices. Together, let's keep turning everyday moments into opportunities for mindfulness, peace, and joy. As we come to the end of this transformative journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the profound impact these 30 Zen sessions can have on your life. Each practice, from mindful breathing to the art of letting go, is a stepping stone toward inner harmony. Together, they form a tapestry of mindfulness, balance, and peace that can transform the way you experience the world. These sessions are not just isolated practices, they are tools you can weave into the fabric of your daily life. Whether it's finding stillness in Zazen, cultivating gratitude, or embracing the beauty of imperfection, each moment becomes an opportunity to live with intention and presence. The power of Zen lies in its simplicity, its ability to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary, and its invitation to find peace in the here and now. As you move forward, remember that this journey doesn't end here. Zen is a lifelong practice, a way of being that grows and deepens with time. Carry these teachings with you and let them guide you through the ups and downs of life. When you feel overwhelmed, return to your breath. When you feel disconnected, reconnect with nature. When you feel stuck, embrace the wisdom of impermanence. Each moment is a new beginning, a chance to practice mindfulness and cultivate harmony. If these sessions have inspired you, I encourage you to share your experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community of support and inspiration where we can learn from one another and grow together. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel for more insights, practices, and guidance on your journey toward inner peace. Thank you for joining me on this path. Together, let's continue to turn everyday moments into opportunities for mindfulness, joy, and connection. Until next time, may you find peace in the present and harmony in your heart.